You're with And Now the Band. Today I have Mike Burns from Radian. They have a
What
new
is
album.
up?
Yes. They have a new album, Subterfuge, coming out. Mike, remind me of the date because
March 20th, 2026.
yes.
Or is it 2028? No.
Yeah, you're so fucked. What a ripper, dude. What a ripper of a fucking album.
Thank
Uh
you. Appreciate that, man.
like I always look, we're kind of old heads, so you look at different things on the album, and one of the things that I always look at is like the flow of the album, how songs flow into each other. And from Spiraling Ash into Fathom, like the way Spiraling slows down and gets real groovy at the end and then moves into Fathom, and you have like it's kind of chill, and then it fucking picks up at the end. I'm like, oh, what a fucking like, okay, we're gonna give you a break. And then nope, we're going again.
Right. Well, I mean, it worked out like Corey essentially chose the track listing, and he kind of mentally choreographed that, to some extent to where it would flow like that, and I think he did a great job with in that aspect. And I agree. It's like a wave, man. It's like a wave in the ocean,
Yeah.
and I'm really happy with it and how it all turned out. I mean, I wrote those songs so long ago that it's just like it's finally coming out, and it's like people are digging it, man, and people are saying a lot of positive things about it. And to me, it's just like, man, I wrote these songs so long ago, but
Yeah.
I'm glad to get it out, and I'm glad people are digging it. I mean, that wouldn't refrain me from continuing to do stuff regardless. I do music for me, and if people love it, then that's a bonus. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Well, that's how it should be, right? That's where the fucking authenticity is, and that's it's one of my favorite things uh about the underground, right? It like not being, you don't have this weight on your shoulders like, oh, I've got to, this one has to be a lot more epic because that one was, and these guys are telling me it needs to do this, so I need to do that. Like, fuck that, dude. Like
Yeah.
here, we just kind of, music is created because it's an outlet for us,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, and for me, it's a lot of emotion in the music too. So if I can't feel emotional shifts amongst the song, then I'm not really content with my own songs, at
Yeah,
least. So
yeah.
yeah, I like that emotional connection, the mood altering drug that music is.
But dude, it is. It's like exercise. You get out and I say exercise. I just ride my bike. I don't do shit else. But when you're done, there's a shift in your brain. It's different chemicals that go, and it's music fucking hits that spot.
Yeah, and it's just by something that you're hearing. You're not touching it. You're not feeling it. It's not. I mean, you feel it, but not like figuratively. So it's like
Yeah,
crazy how music is like a mood altering drug. And listeners are just like junkies that want more. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, I that's a crazy comparison, but I mean that in
no,
the
it's
best
the truth.
regard.
It is
Yeah.
literally the truth, though. Like you ask. I mean, dude, you've hung out with us. When we're like when Reagan and I are together, it's all music all the time. We're talking about it. We're looking forward to it. We're talking about the next shows we're going to, or the next album we're going to listen to, or what got us in this place. And it's so like, dude, it's so fucking wild to like have those conversations and see how it brings people together when we are so fucking divided right now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree anymore with all of the above of what you just said.
Yeah. So N- now Carly has not been in the band long.
Um,
She's like a year-ish.
Almost like about 7, 8 months, something like that. It'll be like m- I believe May is when she started learning songs, and then I don't think that I have such a horrible memory sometimes, but I don't think that it was
It's all the music, dude.
yeah. It could be the weed smoke too. I don't know. No, no, I don't think that. I don't think that it was till like June or August until she started actually like rehearsing with us.
Okay.
I believe. I could be off a little bit on that one, but it was somewhere, give or take. But it's just shy of a year that she's been in the band, and it's so far so good, man. She's kicking major ass.
Yeah, it looks like she's been, what I've seen, it looks like she fits really fucking well with you dudes, and like everyone kind of does their thing, and you guys get on fucking stage and you fucking crush it. Uh,
Well, that's what it's all about. That's what we're here to do.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, it's just a general consensus. We don't even talk about it. It's just we're just there to handle business, man.
Yeah. As it should be,
Yeah,
you know.
absolutely.
So, you and I have chatted a little bit, obviously outside of here, about what my favorite song is on the album. Let me ask you yours.
Uh, it's tough because, like I mentioned, I wrote these songs so long ago, and we had lineup changes, and we've talked about this stuff before, but we had to get a new singer, we had to get a new bass player, but this stuff was, I mean, I recorded this stuff. I recorded the album myself, and it was twenty four, March of 24 when we tracked the drums, and then April when I did the guitars, and April following immediately after the guitars when we did the bass tracks. We didn't do the vocals until like this past summer, like in the middle of the summer, in between tours. So,
Yeah.
we had to figure it out because those guys live 250 miles away. So we don't want to waste time. So we had to figure out like, okay, well, we're going to track some vocals for a couple of hours, and then we'll run through the set and rehearse. So we're like doing everything we can to utilize all the time that we could. So them guys would come down here, we'd track some vocals for a few hours, then we would run through the set as a band and rehearse. And then, it was kind of like every week a little game of that. And some days Corey was feeling it more than other days, or whatnot. And that was the benefit of doing it in my little studio here, is that we didn't have a clock hanging over our head. And if Corey wasn't feeling it that day, then he wasn't feeling it. We could just kind of push pause on that and rehearse and come back to it next week. And
Yeah.
as long as it took, as long as it took that, for everyone to be happy. Um,
That's,
so
that's the benefit to having your own studio.
yeah, and it worked out great. And but to answer your question, so the songs are so old, and I recorded a lot of these songs, some a bulk of which they were written before Derek was in the band, and he's been in the band for like 3 years. Um, but I probably would have to say that Fathom ended up being my favorite song simply because of what Corey delivered vocally on top of the song that I had written forever. And we performed in that song, at rehearsals, and I think maybe once or twice live with the previous singer. And but he was doing it was a totally different vibe, totally different. I mean, I liked what the other guy was doing, but when Corey came in and I didn't know what to expect, and that was the last song on the album that we did track vocals for, and I didn't know what he was going to do or what he had planned, and he just kind of kept it to himself. and and then we did some vocals on it, and then we had to stop, and then we did another session, and he added some more, and then I think it took like 3 or 4 sessions total to get the song completed, because that was we never ever really planned on playing that song live because it's so long,
Yeah.
you know. And then after Corey did the vocals, it just turned out so awesome. I mean, I loved it so much that I was like, I don't think not playing this song is an option. Like
Right.
we have to play this song. And everybody was like, yeah, we totally agree, So we had to go in and like learn the song as a band. I mean, me and Derek knew the song. We performed it live, like I said, with the other, but Corey was still working on lyrics, and Carly coming in and having to learn it and everything. So it took a while, but it's all come together, and we're ready to play that song live. And it's, yeah, it's really cool. Um, and there's a lot of moments in that song too that are so emotional that you know our previous bass player Bill that passed away, I mean, we worked on that song together quite a bit, and it brings up a lot of emotions and thoughts and memories and feelings for Bill. So sometimes when I'm playing that song, I just kind of uncontrollably like kind of start crying a little bit,
Yeah.
and there's just no way around it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's probably my favorite song on the record, because of all the emotion and all the space and everything. And we were actively on this album trying to play with restraint and to submit to the song, not just play all these guitar parts or drum fills or all these bass lines. And, we're actively just trying to submit to the song and play with restraint and do less, because sometimes less is more.
Yeah. Well, I think like atmosphere is such a that might not be the right word, but it's definitely one of them.
Well, I
I
mean, it's very, there are a lot of very ambient parts on the record, which ambient creates an atmosphere. So I don't think you're far off by saying that at all.
Right. I mean, I think it's such an underutilized tool in music, right? The ambience, the atmosphere, all of the above. I think, especially I listen to, so many different like styles of music, and when you get into like tech death or and deathcore and all that shit, what do? They're typically playing as much or as heavy as they can, and that's what I think, to me, that's what made a band like Lorna Shore really stand out.
Right.
Was
Well, I mean, that's how, like, think about like Slayer back in the late 80s. They're like, hey, we're going to play these riffs as fast as we fucking can. And that's our thing. And that's their thing. That's what they're known for. And all these years later, I mean, they've slowed down here and there, but it's still, how fast can we play, and get away with it. It's always a challenge, especially music like that. I mean, it would be a hell of a challenge for me, to play that fast and that consistent for that long of a period of time.
yeah,
But
yeah,
then after you do it for 35 years, it's kind of just muscle memory, and it's just kind of like, whatever, we could do this all day. It doesn't matter.
yeah, yeah. I mean, dude, it's so weird to think like Rain and Blood turns 40 this year.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy.
Holy fuck, we're old.
Yeah. And,
So
and,
are,
and, and that shows that they're just innovators too.
but yeah, I mean, I think that's such a cool thing about music is you go back and you listen to a lot of the classics, and they're classic for a reason, right? Like that shit is the riffs are timeless, the lyrics are timeless, they fit. everything, which is so fucking hard. But it's so weird to say this. Uh, Spiraling Ash, you and I both know that is my jam. I fucking love that song. It's
Thank you.
my
Thank you.
favorite one on the album. Um, and the part where it's like, drop your weapons on the ground. I'm just like, oh,
Right.
this is to me that that part specifically is so like to everything happening right now.
Right. Yeah, true. And I mean there's parallels, but everybody perceives everything differently, you know what I'm saying? So whatever it means to the whoever's listening, that's what it means, you know what I'm saying? There's and with Corey, like that part, it's all about I think it has a lot to do with the delivery when he was tracking the vocals. He could have said, drop your weapons on the ground 15 different ways, and it probably wouldn't have had the same impact as the way he delivered it on that performance.
Right. Right. And that's, you know, to me, I think that is like it's finding those things that are a little different within the song or within the album that I attach myself to. And that is like that's I listen to that song for that fucking like part. That's
Right
all
on, man. It's awesome.
that's all I want to fucking hear is that part. But it's catchy, it's angry, it is like I don't, I don't know, dude. It's almost everything I want in a song right there. But as soon as Corey changes that delivery to that is like, oh,
Yeah, it stands out amongst the rest, so to speak. Yeah.
yeah. And
I'm glad that we were able to speak to you like that. I'm glad that we were able to deliver that drug to you as a listener.
yes, keep giving me more. And that is no shade toward the rest of the album because I think overall it is a solid fucking album. I mean, even, ending with the outro is fucking it's superb.
Yeah, that was a last minute thing. I was it's a funny story about the outro. I'll just say it. It doesn't really matter, but I got a new ribbon microphone uh a few years before we recorded this record. So I got a new microphone, and I was like, oh, let me mess around with this microphone. And I put it in front of this little Fender Champ combo amp that I got. And I started recording this, guitar part. And then I did a synth part over it with a little synthesizer. And then I went back and did a second guitar track and did like harmonies and stuff and did like a little high melody. And I was just like literally just like messing around in my studio checking out this new microphone. And it was in a file that I had on the computer. And once we were all said and done with it, I was like, hey, uh, what do you guys think of this little thing I have here? I mean, we could stick it at the end and maybe use it as like an outro or something. And I was like, we don't have to do no vocals or nothing over it. It's just like a 2 minute long little thing. And I said, it's very emotional and it reminds me of Bill. And they were like, yeah, let's do it. So we just kind of threw it on at the last second, and it just was a file that I had on my computer that I was just fucking around one day, and made this little composition, and it had emotion to it, so I couldn't turn it away.
That's that's such a cool thing about having the ability, especially like in 2026. Fuck, it's weird saying that. Because you think back, the 90s, you were like I got my little fucking Tascam 4 track. I'm good. Whatever.
I never used the Tascam 4 track, never, ever, never even touched one. I had
Oh,
buddies that had them. but I never even touched one. It was easier for me to take one of those big square cassette players that it would pop up on the top like that, and you would put
Yeah.
the cassette in and just push record and throw a pillow over it so it wasn't all distorted sounding, and we just throw that. It was just easier, you know. I didn't know, you know, but I never used a Tascam 4 track. I mean, they were always around, but I personally never used one.
But it's, it's so different today,
Oh yeah.
right? Because, then you had, I think the Tascam you could do at best 2 tracks at a time.
Yeah, and then you'd have to bounce them down, and then you would have to multi-track, and yeah,
Yeah. And if you fucked up, you had to start from the beginning. Like,
yeah,
oh shit. What a pain in the ass. And now you could literally you can do damn near everything you want from your phone, you
yeah.
know?
I know I still know a few people that still use the Tascam 4 tracks, and they're pretty hell bent on it, you know.
I miss it, dude. I love it. I've been thinking like, oh, maybe I should get one. Who the fuck am I kidding? Why am I going to spend money and have more shit in my house?
And where are you going to get one? Like on eBay or something? Like Sweetwater doesn't sell them. It's all digital or something. You know, I don't know. You'd have to find it. Maybe they do. I never looked. I'm always looking for new microphones, not old stuff like that. You know.
Yeah, now I'm curious. Like, um, I bet they still have them.
I know that they have like Tascam 4 track like digital recorders, but I don't know about a cassette one.
Yeah,
But
Reverb's got it.
I have no idea.
Damn, I'm over here shopping. Like, look at this. Yeah, they've got them on eBay, Reverb. Looks. I don't see any brand new. Everything's used and
Yeah,
pre-owned.
has to be.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, that's still not, not terrible. Whatever. I'm not gonna fucking go and buy one. Let's be real here.
Right.
I got too much shit going on to want to go fucking spend my money on another item that's gonna.
Collect dust. Yeah.
Yeah, I have
Yeah.
such good intentions to use it, and then I never do.
Right.
Fucking motherfucker. So with Subterfuge, is there, like, do you have goals or thresholds with the release of it that you would like to meet?
We're trying to do as much as we possibly can. We're trying to take this as far as we can possibly take it. We're trying to go as far as we can possibly go. I can't, I'm, there's no threshold. If anything, we don't want to do too minimal, which, but which we're not known for. You know, we have a pretty strong work ethic, and me personally, I'm always pushing the limits with uh with with the band and traveling and playing shows. I'm always the one pushing the limits. Like I would just live in the van for the whole year, you know, and just be fine with that, you know. Um, other people not so much, you know what I'm saying? But I'm always pushing the limits, you know. Well, are we going to do this tour? Yeah, we can do, 24 days, you know. And I'm like, well, do you think we can get maybe 27 out of it? I'm always pushing the
Yeah.
boundaries, So there's no threshold. The goals are just to do as much as we can and get it to the masses, dude. Like we're trying to do this, we're not just him hawing, or we're not fucking around, dude. We're trying to. I mean, I've mentioned this to you before in previous interviews, but we're trying to step it up, to the next notch, the next level, the best way that we know how to, and we're getting a lot of help from people, with Third House and we just signed a contract with a booking company, so I mean that's all working and in our favor. So a lot more opportunities are coming to us this year, uh, prior to previous, so
Yeah.
all these opportunities are just coming. And we're always grateful for any opportunity that comes our way, and we usually embrace it, any opportunity, because we're grateful for any opportunity, and
Well,
we want to do as much as we can. So
you guys have, you've got the release on the 20th, and then right before that, the 12th and the 13th, you guys are playing with The Obsessed, and then right back with fucking Acid Bath, dude.
yeah, so that the whole situation kind of worked out crazy too. I mean, we're really excited about the Acid Bath show. It's probably going to be the most people that this band has ever played in front of. And I have a relationship with those guys, but that's not how this unfolded.
Right.
I also have a relationship with the management, of them, and I,
Is
we've
that
known each,
Dan?
yeah, and we've known each other over 25 years. I mean, I met him 20, 26, 27 years ago, and his band and my band, we ended up playing together at Checkpoint Charlie's in French Quarters in New Orleans, and that's how we met. That was in like 2000, maybe 2001. So I guess my timeline is slightly off, but around that time. And Dan was in Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, which was a pretty hyper metal band. A lot going on, not like a grindcore band or anything, but they were like very, like early Kylesa type of stuff. They were a Florida band, and they had a trombone player, and it was awesome. What the trombone was like playing guitar parts,
That's
and it was
cool.
awesome. So I mean, and Dan had smaller booking companies, and he used to work with my old bands and book tours for us or put us on tours and stuff like that. And then when this all kind of came to light, we rekindled. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like we got on the show because we have a relationship. I never asked a member of the band put us on a show with you. I mean, I've kind of made me feel like an asshole doing that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it all just kind of worked out because I just been doing this forever, and I always try to make relationships with people. And in this case, it just happened to be relationships that's 25 years old, and people are on to bigger shit now. So it all just kind of worked. And we're very grateful for the opportunity. And then the Obsessed show the night before, we had planned on playing a show the night before, just so we're good and warmed up. You know what I'm saying? Playing in front of 3,000 people or whatnot. We wanted to be able to be pretty warm, pretty warmed up, and be able to deliver.
Yeah.
And we were going to play a show out of town, but then I saw the Obsessed was playing at the Grog Shop in Cleveland, and they really didn't have anybody on the bill at the time. And I just kind of reached out, once again, another 25-year plus relationship with the Grog Shop. And I just kind of reached out to John and was like, hey, man, can we play the show? Like, we really were playing a big show the night after, and we really wanted to warm up, but then, it's the Obsessed too. So it's not like we are warming up, but we're also playing this kick-ass show with this legendary fucking doom band that I've been listening to for
Years and years and
huge chunk
years.
of my life.
Yeah.
So it's kind of it's kind of weird how things just kind of fall in place sometimes. And we were literally just looking to get a good solid rehearsal the night before, and we could have played at a house show in front of 3 people and been content with that. You know what I'm saying? But it it just turned into the Obsessed show, and that's just once again another great opportunity that we are very grateful for. You know.
Yeah. Two kick-ass shows back to back that I think, no promises yet, but I think Reagan and I will be at both of them.
Yeah, I was told that you were, and that you were staying with a buddy, and I assumed it was probably Dion. So
It is 100% Dion.
yeah,
Um,
he's the homie, man. He's the man.
yeah. Yeah, I got to figure out if he's going to be, if he's back to work then or not. He's off for the winter, and Usually they go back beginning mid-March.
Yeah, but March in Ohio, it's you can't gamble on it. You don't. It's either going to be 80 degrees or 20. You know, it's either snowing or pouring rain, and it's March is. We never
Yeah.
know. You just got to wait. You know,
Yeah.
the
Wait and see.
groundhogs don't know shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like, "What's up, dude? What are you doing?" He's like, "I don't know, man. Like they just gave us our new training stuff, and I think it's we're gonna run a little later this year." I'm like, "All right, just fucking let me know." He's like, "Yeah, don't worry. You got a key to my place." I'm like, "All right, you're good. We're
Well,
good."
regardless, it'd be great to see you guys, especially a couple nights in a row. You know, get to
Yeah,
hang out.
that's that is the plan. We're, obviously we love you guys. We're super stoked for you guys having the opportunities and uh the seeing this fucking album like come to light and this whole like vision happening before our eyes is it's fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to me too, man. Because like I said, these songs are pretty old, and a new singer and a whole new vibe, and it's great, and and the concept behind the album too. Like I never, not for one second, did I ever stop and think about how people were going to react to a concept in general, but like this concept, like people are like they just love it and they're just talking all about it. You know, like that's I'm under the impression that people love it. You know, as based on what they say and things that are being said. You know, I'm not one to try to toot my own horn, so. Um,
Toot toot.
but yeah, but people are really embracing the concept, and it's like it seems as if it's to some extent separating us from everything else that's going on. You know what I'm saying? Because yeah, I mean, there's all these great bands that are releasing. You know, there's some really great records coming out this year on big levels, mid levels, low levels, like all levels. There's some really great shit coming out, but I think the concept and Corey's wit uh, behind the concept is what kind of separates us from everybody else that's releasing a record right now because we're not hearing anything about any other concept albums,
Sure.
so to speak. And like I said, I never thought for a second that it would make that big of an impact, you know.
Well,
And
it's so weird in current, like, in 2026, one of the things that comes up constantly is the algorithm,
yes,
like, and the more you think, you even think about something, the more you see it,
yeah,
right? So it's like concept album. Well, fuck, there's not a lot of concept albums going on right now. There were a couple that came out last year that were fucking tremendous, but I as of right now, I don't know any other like concept albums that are coming out this year.
right. Well, when we discussed about the concept and everything behind it, I thought it was really cool, and I was like all about it. But it wasn't until after people started getting a dose of this that people started making comments about the concept, and I was like kind of blown away for a minute because I didn't think for a second that that would be
A
a thing,
thing.
you know, and it is, and it's really fucking cool, and it kind of took me by surprise. So I'm just gonna roll with it, man. You know.
That's all you can do. You gotta keep doing the thing, whatever that fucking thing is, and moving forward. Ooh, this reminds me of,
Yeah,
sorry, dude, total like ADHD. You're a kid, you get drunk, and they're like, "You're running through the woods."
yeah, yeah.
Then they whack, like, "Oh shit." God, we were
The
assholes
puking
to
in
each
the
other.
woods.
Oh my God. Um, the vinyl. God, I wish I had a picture right now to put up right there.
I could probably kind of like maybe use my phone, kind of something like that. No, let me find the right one. No. I mean, here's kind of, I don't know if that helps.
No, it doesn't show real well,
Yeah.
but I can see my face in your screen.
Botched attempts, you know.
That's all right. I was looking for, I'm pretty confident fucking Reagan sent it to me. Uh, I'll put it up there once well, I'll
Yeah, no
try to put
worries.
it up there during edit, but I'm so like I'm old and dumb with this stuff. So if it's not there, it'll be somewhere else.
Nah, it's all good.
Uh, who did the artwork for it?
Derek, our drummer,
Fuck yeah.
he did everything. Actually, the I keep mentioning Bill, who was our previous bass player who passed away last year. Um, Not only was he a band member, but he was like family. You know, he was a best friend. He was a brother. He was family. You know, so there's a tremendous amount of loss with Bill, not just with me, not just with us, but like in general. You know, he was just a beautiful person and a beautiful old soul, and everybody he came in contact with, he made some sort of impression on. You know, and so I was over visiting with him, and he doesn't get much sun in his backyard. So, and he's big into gardening, or was big into gardening. So he's got all these big garden boxes built in his front yard because that's where all the sun is. And we were outside, having a cigarette or whatever, and I noticed this sunflower growing up out of the box. And I remember Derek showing me some sort of mocked up reference to some artwork that was in his mind to go along with the record. And there was like a sunflower on what Derek showed me. And then when I was, like I said, visiting with Bill, I saw this sunflower growing up or growing out of the box. And so I took my phone out and I took a handful of pictures of that sunflower. And it was like alive, but most of the seeds had been eaten out by birds. So it was kind of like blackish looking. And I just thought it was kind of cool. And I remember Derek showing me mock up art stuff with a sunflower. So I took a handful of photos of it and I gave it to Derek. And that's the photo that you see on the cover. He just went ham on it in Photoshop and just completely altered it from the original photo that was. But I took that photo and it was in Bill's front yard, and to some extent this whole record pays homage to Bill. And we thought, what, why not take advantage of this? It just all fell together. We're talking about, the sunflower and the mock-up artwork, and then and then Bill passes and paying homage to Bill, and then I have these pictures in my phone of the sunflower that grew in Bill's front yard, and it just kind of all naturally fell together. I don't know what, I don't really know what pulled me towards taking photos of that sunflower, other than Derek, but it all kind of just happened, dude.
But
Subconscious.
but that's it, right? Like I think when you see something, you go, oh man, that I think that would be useful, or it just looks really cool. You go and you take a photo of it. Like I've got so many dumbass photos in my phone. I'm sure that other people would look at and go, why the fuck did you take that? And I'm like, oh, to me, there was something like special in that angle or
Yeah,
whatever.
same. I have the same in my phone, dude. I think over the beginning of the winter, I was working and I was crossing the street to go back to my car. And there was like all these Christmas lights and these trees, and they lined up the side of the whole road. And then I just saw like this vibrant yellow line in the middle of the road, and all these trees lit up. And I was like, stopped in the middle of the road, and was like, that's a sweet ass picture. And I just kind of scratched down and took the picture, and then later on did some editing to it. And yeah, it's in my phone just as a cool little shot, that I saw something in when I was walking across the street, just like what you said. You just see stuff, sometimes.
Yeah. Well,
Or
Dude,
Or
I'll tell you,
sometimes subconsciously you just take your phone out and start taking pictures of shit like this sunflower, you know?
right. Yeah. My dad always said when he was older, he retired, or right before he retired, he started taking a lot of photos. And I realized now that he had always taken a lot of photos, like, but I didn't recognize it until I was older and he was about to retire. And right now, dude, I think I'm being very conservative in saying I probably have 10,000 photographs of his in boxes in my garage.
And it's all like random stuff too,
It,
probably.
dude, it is a lot of like random shit, like a flower or a tree or a hill or whatever. It's just there's thousands of these photos,
That's
and
awesome.
I asked him. I said, "Hey, dude, like, what made you want to do this?" Um, he said, I see something that I enjoy, and I want to capture that, and then I want other people to be able to see things the way that I see them."
Yeah, that's beautiful, man. That's truly that's beautiful,
I'm like,
honestly.
I'm like, that's fucking cool. I tried to be a
Dollar
photographer.
General sells really sweet frames for really fucking cheap, man. You could take a lot of those photos and put them in a little frame, and it could go right behind or in between that goat whore poster and in the whatever the stone cutters underneath it. You could fit a nice little something in there. You know what I'm saying?
Man, no, I don't know. Dude, I have photos of his. So after he retired, he worked at GM for his fucking, I don't know, for 30 years or whatever it was. So he retired and then he started doing photography like, oh, I'm gonna do fun. And then, oh, we're gonna start an art society. So they started an art society, him and some people,
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
started having like all these showings and shit. It was cool. It got, I felt like it was pretty like catchy where he is from, but I've got um some of his like one of his like first place photos framed. It's super fucking cool. Just in my hallway. Every time I walk down my hall, it's fucking right there.
Yeah, that's really cool, man. That's really
So
cool.
so that, that ability to like connect with a piece of art to someone that you've cared deeply about in the past is super cool. And to bring this around full circle, I like that this album is like an homage to Bill.
Yeah, I mean, we couldn't have it any other way. He was such a crucial part, and and I mean, I do the bulk of the writing, but we work together on a lot of these songs, and we just recently had a really, really good review of the record, talking about how we submitted and we played with restraint, and there was all this space and but emotion and all this different stuff, and it was like everything that Bill was looking for when we were working on doing this record together. Everything that he was looking for was gratified in that review.
Hell yeah.
And it just became emotional to me, man. And I just kind of looked up and was like, you hear that, Bill? You hear that, dude? Like everything that you pushed for and everything that you fought for is everything that's a pinnacle key of this record. So it just makes me proud, for Bill, because um he I say that he's not with us, but he's always with us. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So he sees what's going on. And I'm sure he's probably sitting back wherever he's at, and he's got that smirk on his face, and he's like, "Yep, I fucking told you, Burns. I fucking told you." And he did, and he was right, you know.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
we couldn't not we couldn't not. I mean, we're very grateful for Carly being in the band and everything, and quite frankly, she's got some pretty big shoes to fill. Bill was quite the individual, like all around,
Yeah,
man.
but let's be real. Like let's like Carly will not fill Bill's shoes. Carly
No,
is
and it's like a
Carly.
whole different thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a whole
that's
different thing, and all positivity. I mean, it's like we're. It's just the the. How do I say it? I guess the maybe the love or camaraderie amongst the people in this band are probably stronger now than they have ever been. You know what
that's
I'm
cool.
saying?
Yeah.
Um, and Carly plays a huge role in that too. I talk about Bill a lot, but he was a very important person to me, not only musically but in my personal life. So I'll never stop talking about Bill and what we did together and music we
Yeah,
wrote.
but it's also I want to recognize and like you understand and I know you understand this, right? Because this is like it's weird like the older we get, the losses they're more common,
And they
right?
hit harder.
They absolutely do. And I'll tell you this real quick, and then I'll get to my point. My mom died last night.
Oh man, I'm so sorry to hear that.
I was at a show and I got the call,
Holy shit, I'm so sorry to hear that, man.
and
I feel for your family.
I appreciate that. So I'm like, my brain has been like thinking about loss since I don't know 8:30 or 9 o'clock last night when I got the call, and it's been like just nonstop. So the way that I'm thinking about it though is like she's probably she's the as far as human goes, she was like the fourth like super significant loss that I felt. Right. My dad, my little brother, my mom, my best friend Toby. So I think it's important, and you get this, that you see Bill Bill was Bill and Carly is Carly.
Oh,
You know,
absolutely.
you will never, if you try to go, oh, I want this person to fill this person's shoes, it will
No,
never fucking work. You know what I
no,
mean?
I never feel that way or think that way.
Right.
It was just a figure of speech when
No,
I
I
yeah.
know. I'm just saying, like, I want to recognize that you understand that.
Yeah. It's a whole different thing. And Carly is essentially taking what I'd like to think as the legacy that Bill left behind, and she's going further and forward with it and continuing it and making
Yeah.
it her own, and for that, I am very grateful. I'm very grateful. I am so grateful for everybody that's in this band with me because we all work together very well. Everybody plays a role in this band, and not the same person does the same thing twice. So this person does that, and this person does that. This person does, and then we all come together, and it's like a team, and we're seeing results, and it's so rewarding, and it's such a blessing, really, to have these people on my side. I don't even know how this even happened. I don't even know how I ended up with two people that live 250 miles away in the band with me. I like, how did this even fucking happen? You know what I'm saying? But it did happen, and it's fucking great. And I'm so grateful for them. I'm so grateful for like you guys and like you and Reagan and like everybody that like comes to our shows and supports us and gives us opportunities and helps us. It's just like sometimes I just get so overwhelmed with emotion that I don't even know, like, all I can just do is just say thank you. I was talking with Emily prior to this, and
Burke?
she, yeah, and she's going to be at the Agora show, and I made sure I told her probably a foolproof way to get a photo pass for the show. And I said, why don't you try this? And she did. And she messaged me and she said, all good. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, and Emily supports us so much, and it's just like this family. You know what I'm saying? And
It's
I
a
would
That's exactly it. It's a community, dude. Because
absolutely,
I think what, so many people go, man, I want to do something. It
yeah.
doesn't matter how big or how grand or how small, but when you want to do it and you're doing it for the sake of creating art or just to let out this emotion or whatever it is, you'll find that people around you will come together and support what you're doing and like, oh, this is fucking awesome, let's do, let's try this thing that might get you a little bit further, and hey, how can I help you, with a show or
Right.
whatever. It's
And that's
fucking
exactly what's been going on the last few years, and it's fucking beautiful, man. And I embrace the community. Community is everything to me and everything to this band. I mean, it's just so important, man. And it just means so much, dude. It's really beautiful that all these people have been so um supportive and appreciative, and I'll never forget all this stuff and the things that you guys have done, and other people, dude. It's just I'll have eternal gratitude. I could die um, tomorrow and not play in front of anybody, or I can live on to have some fruitful career. Either way, I will remain humbled and grateful to the people who helped me along the way. And I'll never take that away from anybody. I'll never not mention it. I'll never not be the person to do everything I can to help anybody in any way that I can.
yeah,
So I
that's
can't
good
express the gratitude and then to everyone like so much. I mean, Emily is driving from Indianapolis to Cleveland to take photos of us. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
yeah
that's pretty fucking cool. You know what I'm saying? And I'm eternally grateful for her. And I met her at Legalized Lex, and she was taking pictures, and that circles back to Braun, and it's a whole community, man. I'm grateful for Braun and to bring us into his community, and then us embrace it and look where we are now. We're part of that community. So
for
it's
sure. I mean,
truly is truly is
that
beautiful.
that's it though, right? And that's in large part due to the work that you've put in all these years, right? It's like it seems like for so long you try and try and try, and then all of a sudden, like that, the dominoes really just start like falling. It's like, oh, okay, here we are. Let's fucking
Yeah,
this is good shit.
it is good,
So
man.
Mike, on that note, I think what a great fucking note to end this on. Um,
Right on, man.
I know you got to get back to work shortly. Shortly.
It's a little
uh,
cold to be shirtly, but
yes,
or
yes,
shirtless, but yeah,
yes.
no worries.
I
I got
also got to get back to work. I've got like my fucking phone is over here going me.
yeah, I got emails and phone calls and text messages and all kinds
Yes,
of shit too. So I got
dude.
emails from the Agora here. I see up there. It looks like from my bank. That's never good. No.
Fucking banks. Yeah. So, dude, go have a great fucking day, and we will probably connect over the next few days to talk about logistics with the obsessed and acid bath and all that good shit. All right.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And thank you, Tom, for your time. Man, you've always been so supportive, and you're a great dude. I love having conversations with you. And
Same.
thank you for everything. Thanks for having us. Thanks for your time. Uh, I'm going to be thinking about you a lot over the next couple of days. I feel for you and your family, so I hope everything works out on that. And if you ever just need to bullshit, I'm just a phone call or a text message away.
I appreciate that, dude.
No problem, man.
Have
Thank
a
you.
great day.
All right, you too, brother.
Yep. See ya.